So you tried. You put everything that you had in you into making this dream come true, into achieving that goal, that dream that you've always had. But you failed anyway. What do you do then? Let's talk about it. I officially started my travel blog in February 2020. 1 month later, everybody stopped traveling. We all know why, but I've decided I'm going to carry on anyway. I knew this thing will end one day and everybody will start traveling again. So I thought I'm just going to get ready. I'm going to learn everything that I need to learn. So it's all ready once the travel resumes. And this happened. Travel resumed. And for 5 years, I put everything that I had into it. I grinded after work, before work. I sacrificed so many things. I sacrificed my social life. I sacrificed my health. I sacrificed my free time because I didn't have much more of it anymore. I also sacrificed my career because I did have a career when I was quitting my job to travel. But I've decided I'm going to put everything I have into this dream because I knew I finally, after 43 years of my life, I finally knew who I want to be when I grow up. I finally knew that I found what I really loved doing. And I know it sounds like a cliche because everybody loves traveling, but I truly love traveling. I could be doing this for the rest of my life. I love traveling and I love sharing my travels with people. I love writing about travel. I've been a writer since I was probably 10 years old. I've been writing all my life. So I thought this combination of two of the things that I love, this is it. I found it. This is what I want to do. So I put everything into it and I went 200% into it for 5 years. To be totally honest with you, I was quite shit at blogging for a very, very long time. I knew nobody who was a travel blogger or any blogger. In fact, I found it like it was a mission impossible to find anything apart from a generic information. There's a lot of articles, there's a lot of YouTube videos about how to become a blogger. But after around a year or 2 years, I realized that there must be much more to it, that there is some secret sauce to it, there's some information that is hidden somewhere, but I had no access to it. I had nobody to ask. I had no idea where to find it. But the secret sauce that was missing was the community of bloggers, because once you get into the community of bloggers, all the resources open in front of you. You suddenly find Facebook groups where everybody is just sharing the information and all the resources from which you can really learn what blogging really is. So finally, after 3 years, more or less, I felt like I'm getting there. I felt like I finally start knowing where I'm going with this and what I'm doing, and I'm learning some really valuable lessons. And then this is when I realized that I wasn't very good at it, that I was doing so many things wrong. But I was like, yes, great, now I know how to do it. I'm just gonna work even harder. So I improved my blog. I was patching it up here and there, changing the way it looks, changing the articles, adding things, taking things away. In the meantime, I crashed it many times. I completely destroyed the website. I made so many really horrendous mistakes. So after the almost 5 years, the website was a million times better than it was maybe 1 year after I started, but it was still just patched up. It was just continuously being fixed. It's like you painting over something that should really be inscribed, and you should put a fresh paint on top of it. I was just adding a new paint on really wrong fundamentals. But I was getting somewhere. My traffic grew. I started making money from my website. It wasn't life-changing money. It wasn't enough for me to quit my job again because I've done it twice before that. But I saw the light in a tunnel. The blog was going somewhere. I thought that finally I'm getting there. until the big boss decided to destroy it. Big boss meaning Google. So the Google algorithm changed, not once, not twice, 3 times. And my website's traffic was decimated. Not once, not twice, 3 times. Every single time I managed to recover slightly, but then it just all went crashing down completely. Around 2 months ago, I realized that there is nothing else to save. The only traffic, the only people that were coming to my blog were some Asian bots. There was no real people really reading my blog because my blog wasn't served to people. My articles were somewhere on the 6th, 7th page of Google where nobody goes. So I was trying to save something that kind of was dead already. And yes, I could try to fix it more and more and more, but anyone who's ever been in blogging and has been hit by the algorithm, they know that it takes months, if not years, to recover from Google update, if ever. Some people never recover. So I took a decision and I've decided to take my website down. At the beginning of September, after 5 years of hard work, I closed down my website. And if you've been to this channel before, you know that me, more than anybody, always advocate for chasing your dreams, for finding your passions and not giving up. I have this photo that I found, it's like a meme, that I found around 20 years ago. It just follows me. Since then, I always have it at the back of my head. And whenever I look at this photo, I always feel like I can't give up because maybe, just maybe, this is the moment when I'm gonna get the breakthrough, when things will change. So I keep going and keep going and keep going. But sometimes you just need to admit that something is just not fixable, that this project as it is just wrong, that the fundamentals were wrong, and there's no point. Sometimes you need to have enough humility to admit that it's time to give up. I mourned this blog. I felt like I lost something so valuable, such a massive part of me. I physically felt heartbroken. I probably felt more heartbroken than after I broke up with a couple of my ex-boyfriends, because it was such a big part of my life. Not only part of my life, it became who I am. I was a travel blogger. That's who I was. So what did I do? I started a new blog. I just cannot put everything that I've learned, all these 5 years of hard work. I've learned so much. I've connected with so many people. I've connected with so many amazing communities. I just can't give it up. But I know that the knowledge that I have right now gives me completely different fundamentals. And maybe blogging is that. Maybe in 2-3 years from now, maybe even sooner, everything will be AI generated and nobody is really going to read what real people have to say. But maybe they will. Maybe more and more we will want to read what actual people have to say. And maybe we will be still reading, not just scrolling through TikTok or social media. So I've decided to start a new blog. I decided to start over, but just differently this time. Because we are very often just stuck in this one way. We don't allow ourselves to see that there might be other way of achieving that dream, that goal. Because we are so invested in this emotionally, we say, like I was saying to myself, this is who I am now. I am a travel blogger. This is part of me, and that's the only way I can achieve my financial or location independence. So we invest in this emotionally and we close our eyes. We just focus on this one path in front of us. Times change, people change, we change, technology change, and what people need change. And we need to change with it. We have to pivot. We need to find other ways. We need to open our eyes and look around and see those other ways of achieving that dream. And there is so many things that we still don't know. And there's so many things that we don't realize simply because we don't see the full picture. I remember when I just started blogging, I was reading that blog post from a travel blogger, and she was saying how it was really hard at the beginning, how she went traveling and she was almost at the end of her money and she had to come back home, and then something changed and she signed up for this premium ads network, and suddenly she had her first payout, which helped her moving forward, and she never really had to go back home and she never looked back. In my head, I had this story. I thought, this is what's going to happen to me. One day, I'm just going to get this breakthrough and I will be able to keep going for as long as I keep trying. It will just happen. But what I didn't know is that this travel blogger started her blog in 2010, when blogging was completely different, when you could just write anything on the internet and you would just explode and everybody would read this. So many things change. Blogging is so competitive now and it's just so hard to get this breakthrough. It's almost impossible. I didn't see the bigger picture. I put this idea in my head and I just kept going, remembering just this one story. Because the truth is, breakthroughs don't happen to everybody. Not everyone has this breakthrough. Sometimes we just have to grind, we have to work, and it's a slow, gradual process. Waiting for this video which is going to blow out, or a blog article which is going to blow out, or there's just one moment when suddenly you start going to make loads of money. This is not happening every day, but what's happening every day is us learning new things and trying hard and not giving up. And we see all those influencers or digital nomads, remote workers, and we don't know what it actually took for them to get there. We don't know what they had to sacrifice. We don't know how long it took them. We don't know what kind of unfair advantage they had. Maybe they were just at the right time, in the right place. Maybe I wasn't. Maybe you weren't. Possibly when I was choosing where I go to uni and I chose IT, or I would become a coder, then maybe I would have more chances of becoming a digital nomad. Or maybe if I started a blog in 2020, I would have made it by now. But I didn't. And maybe if I loved posting on social media and I was really good at it, I could become a social media manager. But I don't like it. I really don't. So now what? Should we just stop trying? No, we just need to work harder, give it more time, and allow ourselves to learn and to open our eyes to other possibilities, because there's just so many out there. So I started a new blog, but I am not putting all my eggs into this one basket this time. I have a lot of other projects. I have this YouTube channel now as well, and I have a lot of side projects going on around the blog, because I don't want to rely on just one traffic source anymore. I don't want to rely just on Google, or just on YouTube, or just on Pinterest, or just on Facebook. I know that I have to diversify if I want to make this work. But I also really know that I really need to regain my financial stability. But this is a topic for a completely different video. So no, I am not giving up. I am still a dreamer, but maybe just a little bit more of a pragmatic dreamer. Doesn't mean I sold my soul and I'm just going to give up on this freedom that I've always wanted. Of course not. I just want to be a little bit more clever about it, maybe for once in my life. So if you feel like you failed, like you put everything that you've had, you sacrificed so much into this one dream, but you failed, maybe you feel like everything just works against you. I feel you. I many times had a feeling that I'm trying to board the train that has already departed. But if you feel like this, sometimes it's good to just sit back, let go of it for a moment, and then just look around. Open your eyes to other ways of achieving that dream. Redesign this dream. Maybe the universe is trying to tell you that this one way, this one path that you were so stuck on is not the right path. Maybe it's trying to show you the other way of achieving something, that you were so fixated on just walking that path and looking just in front of your feet that you don't see any other opportunities. So look up, look around. We are all here for a reason. I truly, truly believe that. You will find your way and I will find mine. I know that. I will see you in the next one.